Yay, Roman's here. Oh, I love that. Hi, Roman.
Yeah, you can hear us.
I can hear you, but no. Oh, there you are. Hey. Where's Life? Hi, Life. Hi. Hi. Look at you. Oh my God, he's so big. Wow. Hi, Life. Woo! Life. I know you don't speak English, but we're creating a new world for amazing souls like you. Yeah, someday you're gonna see what your daddy's been working on. Woo! I love it. He's so cute. Roman, thanks for joining and doing what you do, just answering questions, you know. Cody will be on as well, but it always helps to have you guys doing what you do. Hi, Life. Hello. Hello. Hi. Kids are so dry.
By the way, Unicorn Hunters interviewed me on Thursday this week.
Yes.
So,
how did you feel?
I have a recording with you. You can see what they're asking.
Okay, yeah. How did you feel?
Good. It was authentic. Yeah. Let's see what they do with that. That's super. Totally another story with how they will cut it and direct it.
Yeah.
So I mute myself.
Super. Okay. I think we're gonna have a nice turnout here. I just spoke with Franz from Seeds. He's doing his interview, I think, tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't really allowed to use too many of our existing investors, but some of the new ones. All right. Oh, there's Zinka. Woo-woo.
Hey, how's it going?
Hi. Yeah, I'm just going to keep the line open here for a couple minutes, maybe 5 more minutes. You guys can just say whatever you feel like. Let's see. Just looking. I see Chia. Hi, love. Woo. From Hawaii. Nice to see you, love. All right. Rahim, thank you for joining. Hi, Chris. Thumbs up, Buttercup. Exactly. Yeah. It's good. Okay. Nice. I'm just going to set my view up. Oh, I like this view. Mm-hmm. Oh, there. Cool.
Aber wie kriege ich das jetzt wieder raus hier?
I'm sorry? All right. So
that was German. I think someone just have muted herself.
Got it. Hey, Andrea. The background looks really familiar. Andrea's downstairs in my mother's home. And so let's just talk about that for a minute, because those of you who were on our previous call may recognize Andrea. She was in the audience in LA at Unicorn Hunters. And she was so turned on by this that she has like involved herself in everything, including flew here for Mother's Celebration of Life yesterday. And she's flying out today, and she didn't have, I said, well, you could, you know, plug in here at our house for this call. And there you are. You want to, well, we have a few minutes. Yeah. Well, we have a few minutes. Andrea, tell us what you experienced yesterday.
Such a privilege to be here. It was just a lifetime experience that it was so magical. And I want that the day that I transition to be like that too, because it was so much fun, so much love. And we're blessed with, I wouldn't say rain, I would say like a bunch of rain and thunders and lightning and at the time that we place her urns at the ocean. So it couldn't be more perfect. And we know she was with us, and that was the proof. And everybody there was so in tune and so in it, in the present moment. Yeah. That is just like, I'm so glad and thankful that I was part of it. Thank you, Susan, for inviting all of us.
So welcome. It really was hard to put into words how much joy and love we felt yesterday. We brought Mom's ashes out front on the ocean to place it on the coral. And like no sooner did we place it, we started to feel little raindrops, the blessing. And then Cody barely had enough time to get his drone to come down. And Andrea, can you turn the volume down on your laptop? Because I keep hearing myself. Just turn it down so it's not so loud, the feedback up here. Anyway, guys, like thunder, lightning, kaboom! It just like dumped buckets on us. Oh. We're like, we know this is you. We know it's you. And she just like got a hold of the power of Mother Nature and let herself be heard with a thunderous applause. And we just laughed so hard, and we turned up the music and just started dancing in the rain. And it just felt so good to be that happy and that connected with your source and with your love, especially Mother's love, and to be celebrating with people who loved her. I mean, her best friends and my best friends, and the core of Token of Me was there with Cody and Mia and Sandra. Oh my God, you guys, it was just so clear. And then as soon as we walked back, it stopped. And even my neighbor, Jeff, I saw him this morning. He's like, I heard your mother. I knew the minute you guys went out there that, you know, she was definitely in on that. I'm like, yeah, you bet she was. So it was a very, very special day. And we planted the first mother tree as well right here in the backyard. And there's just a lot of joy, guys. We've started painting the mother tree, which I'll send out soon. Really, really beautiful painting. And many people helped me with it yesterday, just adding little pieces to it. So I'm just getting y'all warmed up, because these events that we host are intended to be very uplifting and to get people into a higher coherent state, to feel your true self, to feel good, and it to feel normal and light. And then it starts to get kind of magical. Then you start like getting your intuition kicks in, and you start receiving, you know, these lovely ideas, and you start to flow. And it's very authentic, and you can't fake it. So much so that there were many people, including those in the community here, who just couldn't come. They just physically could not, you know, be a part of where this vibration went. And I'm just getting better at accepting that. And, but I'm not gonna hold back. I'm not gonna play small or dim my light. I'm still gonna go for it. And I figured it's almost like I cracked this code when Mother ascended. And I chose to see it for its truth, that she is eternal, and so are all of you. And it's just a game. We are in a really amazing game to figure out how to create ourselves. And that's what we all came here to do, is to figure out how to let go of the resistance, which is inherent in being in a body and being in this realm. It sort of comes with the territory. And when you see someone, anyone, really like leave, like I did, and a few of you who were here and witnessed it, that will never leave my mind or my heart. I really, really saw, I got a glimmer, and many of you have seen, we've got Esther Hicks and Abraham in on this, because this is the truth. There is no death. Everyone is eternal. And the more you can just surrender and let go and play and look for positive aspects in yourself and everyone else, and don't pick fights and just let it go. Just keep looking for the good. One thought at a time. That's the formula, guys. And it took my mother ascending for me to like break through and really put this into practice. And this is the reward. Our success is undeniable. It is taking off. And that's why I wanted to have this call with all of you to let you in on updates that are happening faster than I can bear. Some days I can hardly keep up with it. And the only way to keep up with it is to stay light and easy, and don't try to control it, and don't try to make it happen. And I've had plenty of experiences, and I've told a few of you some funny ones, where, in the midst of the last few weeks, I'm going to tell you guys one, because it's such a poetic example. And I'm sure you've all had these opportunities in your life. And all I'm doing right now is getting you guys, in a flow state with me, so that it'll open up this conversation with you, because there's quite a few of you I want to call on to speak up about some experiences that you're having and about our success that's taking place. But as you know, I recently went to Europe, and I was in Switzerland, and I went to get my phone fixed. I wanted to get a new battery, and they couldn't, so they gave me a new phone. Well, that was nice, but then none of my apps worked, including my banking app. And so I sort of stressed a little bit. I felt myself losing my, happy grip. And I thought, okay, called the bank, and they said, well, we'll send you a new activation letter. I said, yeah, but I'm flying out tomorrow. It's like not fast enough. And can I just go into a bank and verify who I am? And they said, no. So I thought, okay, I got into my small limited thinking and problem solving. And I thought, well, I better change my flight. So I got on the phone with Swiss Airlines, got them to, change it, told me it was going to be about $1,000 just to change my flight. And I thought to myself, but she got it. She got me a seat. And I said, okay, and this is my new technique. Thank you. How can it get any better? And in that exact moment, I said, how can it get better? I thought, well, it could be free. And you know what happened? My connection was dropped. I had spent an hour getting my flight changed, and she was about to take my credit card, and I lost the connection. And I sat there like, are you kidding me? Like, how can that be better? And I thought again, I heard the message. It could be free if I could allow that. And so I sat there, and instead of trying to fix it, right, I went, okay, how could it be free? And I realized, well, maybe I don't change my flight. Maybe I have no hassle whatsoever. I don't have to book a hotel room for 2 nights. I don't have to pay an extra $1,000. I don't have to delay my trip home. Why don't I just fly home on the flight I have and just have my roommate scan that letter? And I'm pretty darn sure that the scan will work on the screen. And I then had to kind of work through a little resistance coming up around that. And I thought, okay, well, if that doesn't work, I'll just pay him $100 to FedEx it to me. You know, that's a lot less hassle and a lot cheaper. So, you know, it ended up being perfect. It worked so easily. And I'm just sharing this little story, right, to get you guys to focus on an example of when you don't react and you don't try to force your will, or you know, anytime you have a negative feeling about anything, it's usually because you're thinking in a limited way or a false belief. And that's where all negative feelings come from. And I've been enjoying the last month. It's been exactly a month from today. 1 month ago today, June 24th, is when Mom ascended. So in 1 month's time, I have really felt the rush of pure love and pure acceptance and flow, and we're all benefiting from it. And so it's amazing what's happened in just 1 month's time. We have a handful of new investors. I'm hoping some of them are on this call, Michael Vitek and Chris Jebb. And I'm very excited that they've chosen to invest, because that's what's really helping us to create an amazing launch pad for November. So what's November? The Unicorn Hunters called me, and I was the last person for them to schedule a launch date. And they told me that it would have to be in November. And I said, fine, I want more time. You know, more time is good for us. And they said, well, what date would you like? I said, well, if I could pick any date, it would be my mother's birthday, November 27th. I mean, it's been working for me so far. Anytime I can focus on something that I really love and pull that energy through, more power to us. So they agreed. And since then, other really clarifying solutions have been coming to mind. Starting with, you know, we do have the Soul Compass now. We have a few of them. And as you may have seen, it is now working on the Android, which I just got working for myself yesterday. Mohan and his team have had it working for a while now. But, you know, being really, really transparent, it's not super reliable yet. And in fact, like right now, half the readings aren't working. So it could be humidity. I don't know, but I'm learning to just, you know, not keep trying to make something work when it's just not. And so it created an opportunity for me to be more open to a path of greater ease. And that path, by the way, that has come is we're focusing more now on like the Apple Watch. We have like a really, really, you know, tiny version working on it right now, very lightweight. Mohan is already working on this in India, as well as Fitbit. Now, they don't have all the bells and whistles that the Soul Compass has that we created from scratch. But here's what's really clear to me. When we released this episode with Unicorn Hunters in late November, it's going to be in high demand. We know this, and we're not going to be able to ship out enough of these to keep up. And we don't really want to start with the most complex solution. We felt it would be easier and scalable if we make a lightweight version with existing wearables where we're not distributing any hardware. You just download the app on, you know, either phone, either the Android or the iPhone. Or, by the way,
Okay.
Did you know that Solana is working on a cell phone? Is somebody trying to speak?
El otro, creo que está allá.
Sorry, someone's speaking. Can you mute yourself? Here, sorry. Okay, go ahead and mute yourselves, you guys, if you're not already. Okay, I mean, I'm happy to let you guys speak, just when you intend it for everyone. So back to the point. We are working on a downloadable app for either Android or cell phone to work with existing wearables. That is the easiest and most scalable solution come November. And it instantly turns potential competitors into partners. Now, Apple, Samsung, Fitbit, they don't need to come up with their version of Token of Me. We are the solution for them. We are a partner. And it just creates a lot more inertia behind us to bring them into our project as a co-creator and let them focus on the complexities of, everything involved in creating your own hardware, especially with issues these days with logistics. It's just not pleasant, and none of us want to deal with it. It takes a lot more time and more money. So we're going to focus on what we do best. And that's the calibration of humans being at their best. We know how to do that. We have figured this out, and we keep stumbling over issues that have nothing to do with our special service, our special software. And so we're going to just move away from all those obstacles and just focus on what we're best at. And then we will be more satisfied and our application will be more beneficial. Many of you have waited months with orders and don't have them. And, I just flew up to Boston to meet with a very influential new business partner. And it was an experience for me because he really wanted to see the technology working. And I had a very, a difficult time getting it working the night before, and I couldn't. And I had a bad dream about it. And I woke up like, okay, what am I going to do here? I flew up to show this guy our stuff working, and wouldn't you know it, we still have issues. And it was unpleasant, and I don't want to do that anymore. And I spoke with Mohan. I said, you know what? I just want you to really focus on what you're best at. Don't put any more effort trying to make it work on the iPhone. Just really do what feels good, because whenever we're working against ourselves, that's when it backfires, right? That's when, it's hard. And I'm okay now with the 6 months that it's been since we first launched Token of Me and started our calls with many of you. I'm okay that we don't have the hardware out to you yet, because you know what? Something better came along. Our timing, we needed to really let this mature, let our team mature, let the technology mature, let the world get ready for it, let the financing come in, let unicorns happen. It's really learning how to roll with it and not push against, not react, and just ask yourself, okay, what wants to happen here? So that's what my whole team has been doing for 6 months, is trying to figure out the pathway that's the easiest, and the co-creative partners, both finance and technical. And our technical team is expanding dramatically right now. We're starting to bring on new resources. In talking with John, in talking with John, this new business partner, he's been tremendously valuable already. He just said, look, you really want to have multiple teams working together. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Let's just get a handful of different teams working in parallel. Maybe one's working on Apple, the other's working on Fitbit, one's working on Solana, another's working on a different blockchain. We just want to start, have multiple pathways so that it doesn't matter what happens in November when we come out, there's going to be working solutions. And those who create those solutions will benefit greatly. So we're really excited about this because it just feels like it's happening and it's unstoppable. And I'm just super, super happy because this is my dream, is to really see this come to fruition. And many of you have been in on this with me for months, if not years. So what I'm going to do now is open it up a little bit. I want to take a look at everyone who's here on the call. You can chat your questions, and we've got a handful of people on this call who will start answering them. We got Roman, who's one of our co-founders, Cody, Mohan. They're all on this call. I'm going to start introducing a few people who are here, and then you guys can ask some questions as well. What's been happening in the last few weeks is many of you have been giving testimonials to unicorn hunters. And there's various reasons for why you've been chosen to do that. We have some really big people coming on board now. John Karras, who's doing an interview. He's an agent out of LA for musicians, very famous musicians. And he is bringing like a whole team. He's bringing marketing. He's bringing business development. He's bringing some developers. He's bringing legal people. He's bringing finance, and eventually artists who want to have a token of me. So very, very excited about John. I have a call scheduled tomorrow with Andy Walsh, the former chief marketing officer for Red Bull. He's a good friend of Bill Ties, and finally we got him engaged. You know, people are starting to hear about it and going, okay, oh, this is good. Oh, okay. Where, how do I get involved? Like, that's what's starting to happen right now. And it's really a great feeling to have now that much more energy coming in and pulling us up. Yeah, so I'm just looking around. Here we go. Seeing how we got any. All right. Does anyone have a burning question? Let's start there. I'm going to talk about the investment opportunities later, but first let's just get everybody grounded and see where you're at. All right. I'm reading some of the questions here. Brett's asking about, you know, in the future. So look, we will have our own, okay? This has like the latest and greatest. The challenge with it, Brett, if you've ever been in hardware development and you've made it commercial and worldwide with everything that's involved, that is a company that needs to raise a lot of money, and it takes many years for something like this. We're going to be in a much better position to just build it on the existing wearables and get them to improve their sensors and add the components to their wearables. It's just, we don't want to compete with them. That's not our core competence. We only build it because it didn't exist. So the best way for the future is for us not to be a hardware company. We will continue to do a lot of research and development, and we may even do the initial designs for each of those partners and have them pay us to do that and go and then license the rights to them to go mass produce it. That would be my preference, so that the mothership of Token of Me is really focused more on research and less actual production development. But we just keep paving the way. We keep creating solutions and then dropping them like seeds for different hardware makers to go ahead and mass produce. In speaking with John this week, he and I, we sat down and he said to me, point blank, he said, you have 3 unicorns. You need to split this up into 3 different companies. We have the mothership, which is all of what we've done so far and will continue to do, which is the research and prototype development of what's possible. And then we have separate from that is the content and the NFTs and the metaverse and the game. That could be a whole, he said that there is already a unicorn. And there are people I know who will invest in that because they understand that. There are people who will invest in your mothership because that's what they understand. There are different investors who will go for the crypto, but not the other. And so we are now actually creating an even more beautiful structure where we're probably going to be 3 entities, but we want to make sure that they all win when any of them wins. So it's going to be very regenerative in the way that it's all connected through revenue share and, you know, cross-pollination of resources and revenue and benefits. So hopefully that answers that question. Yes, all right. Looking at the others here. Okay, so what I'm doing right now is just kind of answering any questions about what I've said so far. And then I'm going to move on to our financing strategy and how all of you would benefit from that. But if anyone has something to say, just unmute yourself and go for it. Oh, lovely. Rahim's on the call. Rahim, are you still there, honey? I see you're here. I'm not sure if you're live. We've added a new consultant to our team, Rahim. He's with the Solana Foundation, and he's been opening some doors for us. And we are right now applying to Solana's latest summer competition. We want to win at least one of the categories as a way of getting on their radar. And I'm going to be filling out forms this week to apply for funding to build on their platform. Once again, John, our latest consultant and intended to be board member, he said, look, you know, you have more than that. What you bring more to that party than they do. And I believe him. I really do. I think we can go to each blockchain and ask them to pay us to build on their platform, because we have something so valuable that will benefit them more than us, because we can run on any platform. All right. Okay, guys. Oh, good. Michael is on the call. Hi, Michael. Michael VTech did make it. All right. Rahim is not live. He's on, but not really. I'm just trying to introduce you guys to a few people that are new. Many of you, if you came after a few minutes, I want to point out Andrea, who's here. Go ahead and wave your hand, Andrea. She's actually downstairs at my mom's house right now. She flew in from LA. She was in the audience at Unicorn Hunters. And she got so inspired by this, she actually flew here for our celebration of life yesterday, because we are figuring out how to feel that much joy, even when others are, just because when someone departs, right, it can really be challenging. And I'm just so happy that Andrea came and celebrated with us yesterday, because she's like the perfect token in customer, right? And she is an example of what's going to happen when 5 million people see this thing, right? We don't need everybody. We just want those who resonate with it. And that's actually what I've been noticing. Like, people just can't invest. They can't even show up for an event or even a meeting if they don't have if the vibration is not a match. And without any judgment, it's just not, if it doesn't match, it's just a no-go. And so I'm learning how to just accept that and not try to convince anyone, and just keep going, right? Just keep going, and they will join if it turns them on. So, okay. Sandra Reifler, do you want to tell us about yesterday? Yeah, why don't you? Sandra was also interviewed with the Unicorn Hunters. So come tell us a little bit about your experience, either yesterday or what you're excited about.
Yeah, I was thinking about when I joined the first time in January here. I only know the people from the Zoom call, and now I look and I know so many people in live, and even it's from Hawaii, Chia and Andrea, and I know so much people here in live. And for me, it's such a high vibration when we meet us in life. So when body meets together and let the energy flows and celebrate together, that is such a great experience. So I was so happy to see everybody and know them also physically. Yesterday it was,
no
the
worries.
highest vibration of love. And I'm really happy to see everyone here and be also a part of it, because I know that is the future. That is our future, that our frequency is our currency. And joy, 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 joy.
Yeah, our frequency is our currency. That is what this is about, guys. And as much as I'd love to just, give it to all of you, you can't. Everyone's got to figure it out. And that's why this project is so empowering, is because people, one by one, will figure it out, and they'll get paid to figure it out. And so here's how. I want to explain to you. This is really, really quite beautiful and elegant. We have created a mother tree. And it hasn't been established in Switzerland. We're not putting it in America. We're more than likely going to legally put it in the Bahamas. As many of you know, FTX and other really big crypto companies, blockchain projects, are moving there because the laws, including the tax laws, are just much more fluid and supportive for, I just call it the new world. And so we're wanting to get funding from FTX in the near future, and they moved to the Bahamas as well. So we're actually talking to their lawyers to just follow in their footsteps. So what is the mother tree? It's a trust. It's a foundation. And as many of you know, 4 years ago, when I first thought of Token of Me, I asked myself and the universe, how can we make this just unstoppable? How can I make it so even Facebook can't just copy it and ruin it? So of course, as you guys know, I filed all the patents. I've done this before, and it's a very effective way to convert potential competitors into co-creators and collaborators. But it's never, for sure. So I was just having my meditation conversation and said, okay, what else can I do? How can I just make sure that this just is a go, and it will just be beyond my imagination? And what I received was a message. The message was, the most valuable people in the future will have more flowing through them, not to them. Make it flow through you, not to you. Don't hold on to the shares, right? It's not so. And the more you are in the flow, the more you're in alignment, in resonance, in a coherent state, the more you trust yourself. And you just know that you are the creator of your reality. And you could actually just, if you need something, you could pull it through. It'll just come to you. You get that, you feel that worthy and that powerful to just ask and receive. And kaboom, right? And we've been experiencing this, so we know this is true. And I knew that when I'm feeling this way, I'll be all in about it, and more people will be all in about it, and they'll trust themselves. And that's how we're going to have such a massive transformation on this planet. So with that knowing, I said, okay, so help me turn that into something practical. What else could I do with our company? And it was just super clear what I got, guys, is have all the IP and all my contributions be put into a trust. Don't put it in the for-profit, put it in a trust. And instead of the for-profit sending me shares for my contribution, give it to the trust. So make the trust be what all the trust is about. And then I can bring on other trustees to help me run that trust, right? And then it kind of balances out the for-profit with the for-purpose. And so now this trust will own close to like 70% of the shares of Token of Me, the mothership. And why is that important? Well, it's really important because also in the shareholder agreement that every investor has signed, and Chris is one of them, there's a handful of you who have signed this. You are investors. You know what I'm talking about. You give the mother tree the right of first refusal to buy your shares when you want to sell. You can't just sell out. You can't sell it just anybody. You have to first offer it to the trust. And what's the trust going to do? The trust, then her purpose is to offer it to you guys, to the players, to the ones who are figuring this out with your soul compass. You are the intended recipients for virtually all of the shares of the company. So that when I'm long gone and mom's gone and, you know, the investors are gone, it's about you. You are the value, and your true value is infinite. We know this. You're going to be minting tokens, right? And NFTs of yourself when you're improving, when you're getting the hang of it, and when you're flowing, but along the way too. And you're going to be painting a really beautiful metaverse reflection of you. And as you paint this beautiful picture with a home tree, leaves growing, rain falling, sun shining, birds flying, bees buzzing, right? You're painting a really beautiful picture with your soul tokens. And you're going to get paid every day through smart contracts for just figuring yourself out, how to improve yourself, how to become a better person. And where's that money going to come from? Anytime an investor sells a share in the company, it has to go through the mother tree. And the mother tree will take a small commission and regenerate that right into the soil of you. The funds are coming from the value of the whole project forevermore. It's so elegant and so beautiful. And that's just the beginning, guys. I'm going to be able to go to foundations and say, how would you like to bet on humanity? Because we can measure it now. The future is win-win. It's transparent. It's loving. It's inspiring. It's fulfilling. People are getting paid to get happy and to be in resonance with love. This is like a love currency. And you won't have to sell these tokens. They're, in many cases, will be priceless. You just have to create a beautiful portfolio of you. And the mother tree will support you. And that's what mother trees do in the tree forest. They naturally share their resources with all the other trees because they know that we're all better off when we're all better off. And we're going to do it through empowerment, not through pity and feeling sorry for each other. We don't donate tokens. You create them. You mint them through your heart coherency, through your peak performance, or just getting out of bed in some cases. You could mint these tokens and get paid to just figure yourself out and what floats your boat and how do you get into a better state. And once people get the hang of it, you'll all be talking like this. You don't even have to teach it. You just be it and kaboom. It's like a new income stream of abundance. And I got to tell you, it's not going to be about the tokens or the payoff. It's about what I'm experiencing right now, which is profound appreciation and joy and happiness. The best things in life aren't things, and they're certainly not money. And we're all going to go to a place that is way above the concept of debt-backed money, because the new value is above boredom. It's everything above boredom. It's your creativity, when you're feeling alive, when you're feeling inspired, when you're doing what you love. That's the new currency. And it will pay, but you're going to be able to inherit the mothership and all the shares in the company, because the investors can't sell to anybody but you. When you figure it out, you are going to inherit this. And this will inspire more entrepreneurs to create mother trees for their projects. And because they'll figure it out when we do this, and people see how powerful this is, this mother tree. And I'm purposely pulling mother into this thing, because there's nothing more powerful than mother's love. And you bet she's in on this. And couldn't be happier. And I'm sharing it with you because my heart is overflowing. And we all win when anyone can figure out how to calibrate to this state of pure love, no resistance. And I've been feeling that way a lot lately, because I really get that we're eternal. It's just like a game. Something doesn't go well, I just turn the other way, pick up the pieces, and ask myself, what wants to happen here? What's an easier way? And then I listen, and I get the intuition that tells me. That's how I'm flying the mothership. And every single one of you is going to be able to be your own pilot of your own vessel. And yeah, you're going to get paid to do that. But that's really not what it's all about. It's about you creating the best version of you and figuring out how to soar in the life that you have here in this. So we're gamifying life. And that's why I'm so excited, because I get to see this happen. That is my return on investment, is seeing you guys figure this out. And that'll make you cry. Because that is the most inspiring thing, is when you can see people, the light goes off and they get it. And you see the love in their face, and there is just nothing more beautiful than that. That's what I'm going for. And John gets that about me. That's why he's joining our project. That's why more people like him are getting on board. And if they're not like that, they don't want to touch it. And I'm happy. I don't want them touching it. Right? So we're really, yeah.
Amanda?
All right. Anyone want to say anything?
Crazy?
Are you serious?
My place is right here. How are you? I'm all sweaty.
Hi.
Well, I hear somebody. Don't know who that is.
Oh, this is your show.
Here, let me mute Michael.
My trail's like right.
Can you, mute him?
All right, there. I muted Michael. Okay. Does anybody feel a little lighter, a little more love at the
That's so
moment?
hilarious.
Oh my God.
Are you part of this?
Anyone? Are y'all speechless? Oh, come on, Chia. I know you felt that. All right.
That's beautiful, Susan.
I felt it since the beginning.
Thank you, dear.
And yes, it's truly about seeing others get it and turning on.
Yeah.
That's where we're all at. And that's what we really all want, way deep down inside. Well, and I feel it from your heart.
Yeah, we're all uplifters, especially the people on this call. And what we're all trying to figure out is how to be of value in a way that is inspiring and empowering, and not try to do it for anyone else. That's often where we get lost or lose ourselves, is when we try to be of service when we aren't connected. And I don't care how connected you are, if somebody isn't and they don't want to be, it's harassment if you try, It's just learning how to really not push against anything, including, we can't assume that we know better what's best for somebody. They got their own reasons. And it's just so healthy to just like not push or try to get anyone to be different. A lot of people are suffering, and it's not my job to save anybody, nor yours. And it's hard. That is probably the hardest thing for me, is to see someone suffering, knowing that I can't really, take their pain away. Nor can I make them happy by just coming down and joining them in their misery. That's what they want, but that's not what I'm going to do anymore. And so I'm learning how to keep my connection and be soft about it and light about it and not so, reactive. That's what I'm learning. And, I'm still very human, and I'm still learning, and I always will. And there is no one on this planet who can just get to this flow state and then just cruise for the rest of their life. That's called being dead. I mean, you're just not physically in your body anymore, or you're on drugs. So that's not the goal. It's just to figure it out so that when you do get knocked down, you can get back up again, right? Or just don't stay down for too long. How to, don't get momentum going in a direction you don't want. And once you get it going the way you want, and that's what I've been feeling for a month now, it really gets easier, guys. It really does. It gets easier and easier to keep going. And I know it's spilling over, and it helps everyone else. So that's the most valuable thing I can do for myself and all of you and all of our customers, is to just keep being true to me. And that's what the Soul Compass is going to do. It's going to flip on its head. The false beliefs are going to stare at you, and you're going to go, well, gee, it doesn't seem to agree. What's wrong with the Soul Compass? And it's up to you to figure it out, right? All right. Now what wants to happen? Oh, good. Cody's here. Yay, Cody. So Cody was here yesterday with Mia, and they were here when Mom transitioned. It was very, very powerful. I'm so glad I shared that with them, because that was a boost, you guys, to see someone leave their body in a non-resistant state, full of joy, full of peace, full of love. I mean, it was etched on her face, and it was absolutely beautiful. And I thought, oh my God, if I had known it was going to be this beautiful, I don't know what I would have done different, but that is carrying me so much right now, because it's making me feel so sure and so confident, and you can't fake this. I got nothing to lose by letting go of false beliefs and resistance. And I've got everything to win, and you all will win the more I do this. And any one of you doing it will pull everybody up. That's what's going on. It's super, super powerful. It's like, and many of you know Esther's, teachings. Anyone in alignment's more powerful than millions who are not. I'm really getting that you got nothing to offer if you're not at least in basic alignment. And so often we take action from a place of not feeling good, and that usually doesn't lead to anything good. So that's what we're figuring out as a team, how to sort of get ourselves into alignment first, and then speak, and then write, and then take action. And if we're not feeling that, we just go take a nap, go for a surf, do something, right? To let go of resistance and get into a clear state. And then you know what to do. So, all right. So what else did I want to tell you? See, I'm trying to channel. I purposely didn't put any notes together. I wanted this to be very live and very in the moment. Hey, Cody, I see you. Thanks for joining.
A little later than I anticipated, but
no
it's okay.
worries. Yeah, just in divine timing, right?
That's perfect.
Cody, do you mind speaking a little bit? Just because whenever you do, it feels so clear, and you did it on the last call, and I love that. Just anything that you feel you want to share from what you've experienced would help everybody.
Yeah. Yes, I'm sure I'm probably repeating. You already probably told everyone about yesterday a bit, and it was just so powerful when we all got together, and how perfectly timed everything happened. Like Maury was definitely there playing with us. It was a really good time there. When we went to put the ashes out on the edge of this little point, this rocky point, which we got drone footage of. Really excited. We'll post that sometime soon. And it was like the drone was in the air, and we were just all having a good time, just like all happy. And I did a little thing like, all right, everyone wave to the drone, and I'll make it fly up really high to get a really awesome view. And we all waved, the drone flew away. We got the footage, but then all of a sudden we're all dancing and happy. And we just see this wall of rain just coming, just this storm like that. Earlier when we got into the beach, it was so far away. It looked like it was miles away. Like it wasn't going to come anytime soon. And then it was just the electricity, the power, the love that we were all feeling. Maureen had to just pour blessings on us. Susan and I always talk about how if it just sprinkles rain a little bit, it's a blessing. We're being blessed. And it was so perfect. It poured, and I haven't seen it pour. We've been in Mexico now for 2.5 years, and I have not seen it ever rain like that. Like never. It hasn't rained that hard for that long. And it was perfect. We were all wearing dresses. I was too, of course. One of Maureen's dresses. We were all dancing in the rain. It was an amazing time. And it's really powerful to just be in those moments. And yeah. I love what Esther says about how much is created in those moments where we're just in pure bliss and pure love. And it's a thing in the world to mourn death, and to be all sad and wear black. And it's kind of opposite to how it really were. People are sad because they feel like they can't connect with their loved ones anymore. But their loved ones who have passed on are in this place where there is no resistance. It's a lot higher frequency than this earth, this physical realm that we're in. And so it's kind of funny because people go into feeling really sad, but in reality, if you could go into the joy and into the lack of resistance, you would be able to be at a higher frequency, and you can tune in and you can communicate with your loved ones in a way they can hear, just like we did yesterday, dancing and listening to all of Maureen's favorite music and her favorite playlist. And of course she was there, poured blessings on us. There was butterflies right before the rain too, that we had saw, there would be a butterfly out when it's about to rain. And anyways, it was really powerful. Yeah. I was just so full of joy, and you had gotten the flow sensor working right before, just that, the same day, just a really powerful day yesterday. Yeah. And I really felt that Susan told me just yesterday, we did it, we've done it. The hard part's over, and now we're just coasting. Look at just all of us on this call, and every one of us that knows what Token of Me is bringing to the world. We can feel it. You wouldn't be here if you couldn't feel it. And so we all know that the world is ready for this. We're all ready for this. We're ready for something new. The system that has been in place for so long, it doesn't work anymore. And so the world's so ready for something that's really based off of true value. And I feel really empowered that someone as powerful as Maureen, and just seeing her photos and everything from when she was younger and how in her power she was. And then to meet her and to see her zest for life at 88 years old, always flirting with me. There's a time when I wore this shirt that she loved, and she's like, hey, I think that shirt's got to stay here. I'd try to leave one time, and I'd go to give her a kiss on the cheek, and she would hurry and turn her head over every time to make sure I got it on the lips. And it's so funny. It's just such a flirt. And to just see someone, or to have someone that in their power now in this place where they don't have any resistance. I'm grateful to, in my life, be able to experience the field, the quantum field, people call it, in different ways. But being in this body, we are limited in how we can interact with it, of course. But that's part of it. We came here to experience things in a more dense way so that we could grow faster. So, but we have people now, and we have many people, and Maureen especially, that are on that side where there is no resistance to just power us through in any way that we need in the astral, in the quantum. So anyway, powerful experience. Yeah, it was amazing. You guys will see the drone footage. We just barely got the drone, and she let us get the drone in just in time before it got rained on. So we could keep the footage.
It really dumped like I've never seen either. And I think it was just right here on the north part of the point where we were.
Yeah, great.
So and Stan, I'm going to be asking you there you are, thank you. We're uploading all the footage, and we're going to have you create a lovely tribute to Maureen and the mother tree. So excited. Thank you so much. Thank you, Cody. I loved watching my mother flirt with you for over a year. It was she loved all men and women. She was always getting long kisses from Mia too. And Sandra wore mom's red dress, and so beautiful. Yeah, so much fun, so much joy. Betty and Rick are on the call. They met mom. They bought mom's house on the ocean front. Lots of love from you guys. Thank you so much. All right, Shauna, I would really like for you to speak for a minute. Shauna really is like a midwife for, a doula for the what we call the death process. And I call it now the birthing process. So I would just really like you to speak to us a little bit about your experience and how just being a part of this, and Maureen, how you believe it's a part of Token of Me now, and how it's going to benefit all of us.
Absolutely. In terms of like the reigning, I just was the play on word of reign. It's like your mother is still reigning, right? It's like REIGH, right? Right. She'll I mean, I really believe in the work that I've done around, midwifery for birth and death for over 20 years. And, now a huge part of my life is helping to demystify the cultural stigma around death. And, once we can understand, as you've witnessed, and as those who are with you have witnessed, that, death is actually, it's an invitation. It's a portal to actually unlock anything that is possible. And I think that once we start to greet death as a daily practice in our life, then it actually enables us to, there's no filters. We're able to really connect and stream from each other. We're able to share that currency, because there's, if we knew that our death might be today, how would we, how do we choose to live? How do we choose to interact? How do we choose to, sometimes we withhold love, sometimes we withhold our words. And it's like, if we're living in that place that death is present at any moment, then we have nothing to fear. And, now I had two clients over the last 3 weeks that I helped to usher in on the other side. And I do cranial sacral work in the active and laboring stages of dying, and also just energy work in general. And for people that don't want to, who want to be conscious and not want to take any medications, and really want to be conscious in that time. And that is one thing. I mean, we all have a story about how we came into this world and how we were born. But the one thing is certain that we all have in common is that we are all going to die, right? So it's like, how can we start to celebrate that? And I really, it's we're so attached to our forms and our bodies, and when really it's like, it's just, everything is energy and it continues on. It's like, the breath that I share, the breath that we breathe, someone else is sharing that breath. It's like that whole thing with the dust from the cosmos is the same dust from the dinosaurs, is the same dust that, that we breathe in. And it's like that, if we can really understand how the macro and the microcosms are so much a part of our life, and how love is the ether, is like the thing that bonds everything and bonds us all together. And anyway, and the last 2 clients that I was with, I mean, that was the one thing that, you know, I was feeling when I took them on. It was like, you know, that there was love that was missing. And so when you can see, and I've actually seen people change completely in their last 3 days of life as they're dying. I mean, you know, sometimes the gift is they might be like, you know, world renowned and have left behind legacies and everything, but the purpose of their life is how do they give and receive love. And even if they get that moment, I mean, even if they get that at the last moment of their life, it's like that was the point of their life. And it's just so beautiful to see how you know, love can change a person at the time of death in ways that you never even knew how it was going to impact you. And it will carry you on. It's like, as you said, like Susan, seeing your mom during and being with her and seeing her leave with no resistance, and, you know, and having that presence, like that is an imprint that is like will forever be imprinted from your soul. And you can use that now as a resource to always call back on and call back to that moment, because it's like, it's always going to be there. And, you know, so I really feel like I knew when I first came onto this project in January, and I was living in Mexico then. And, you know, I got an opportunity to go and work with your mom. And I knew that, you know, she wasn't so close then. She still had a strong anchor in. And, you know, the visions that I had of her was like all these birds, they were surrounding her at her feet, and they were weaving this like beautiful thread, like honey, all around her body. And it was just like, you know, the birds are the messengers of spirit. And it was just, you know, the love, that was what I experienced between you and your mother, was that divine unconditional love. And it's like, you know, you could palpate it. And I felt charged from that. And I still felt charged from that. And, you know, being a mother myself, also being very close to my daughter, who's 20, and, you know, just knowing what that mother's love is about. I think that, I mean, token of me, it's happening, you know, regardless of how long it takes, right? You know, it already came many light years away, and it's already here now. And I think that it's even that much more powerful that it came on, that your mother's death was the catapult of the go time, you know what I mean? And that's just so telling of how powerful this and the unlimited possibilities that it is going to have the impact, and people will get it. If they don't understand the technology, they're going to feel it. They're going to understand it. And then that's the thing. It's like when you see that spark in someone's eyes, or when, aha, you know, it's those moments of like, maybe my mind doesn't understand it, doesn't need to understand it. It's like you feel it. And then, you know, that becomes those threads that become those bands, and that can just start to weave and weave and weave. And it's just that energy that keeps us, you know, connected, and we can see each other, and we can allow ourselves to be seen. And let
me dive in because that's such a great segue. It definitely is something people get with their heart, not with their head. And you're going to see this in the episode when it's aired by Unicorn Hunters. And Andrea, who's on our call, she was in the audience. And the ones who said no literally said that they do not follow their heart. They follow their head. And every time I'm talking about token of me, if someone starts to get heady and they want to analyze it, and they start asking questions about the proof and the research and the scientific data, I just go, anyone else? I mean, I just won't even go anymore down that path. It's a dead end, guys. Really, it is. It's just someone who's just not ready for what this is. And I don't want to offend them, and I don't want to lose my connection either. So We're going to just focus on being as true as we can, and we let those come in, and it's really, really paying off. The caliber of investors are so beautiful right now. And some of them are on this call, so you know who you are. And yeah, it's of course a great profit for many of you already. But I know that's not why you're in it. It's so much because you just feel the tremendous value and impact of what this is going to bring to the world. And I just love it because a traditional person can't invest in this if they're coming with their head. They just can't wrap their heads around it. And this happened recently with the Liechtensteiner Foundation in Switzerland. I thought for sure they were going to invest, and they just couldn't. And then I talked to Roman, one of our chief resonator, about it. And he said, you know, they got it back then, but you've changed, and so has the vision. They aren't a resonant frequency anymore with what it is. So they can't invest. So I'm not worried anymore about, like, you know, bad investors getting on board. I just really think they can't. They just won't allow themselves. So I'm not going to be protective about it. But that being said, so what's going to happen is the following. Now I'm going to move into the investment track. I've been promising to tell you all about it, and today's the day. And I'm going to make this video public. So with very little edits, if none, so that the world can think about it, even if they're not pilots. It's really, I'm being very transparent about this because now I really trust that the people are going to see this video. They're a match, right? They're going to kick down the doors to get involved, as is happening. So, so we've just raised a couple $100,000 from private investors in our Series A. The Series A round is what I pitched on Unicorn Hunters. And I signed a contract with Unicorn Hunters, granting them 5% of our company for about $30 million US. Our valuation is $581 million. On the day I pitched it and in November. So between, you know, June to November, our valuation is $581 million, $500 million. That is our Series A. That's what I agreed to Unicorn Hunters, and that's exactly what I'm going to offer to the world in November. We are offering 1% of the company, $5 million to the world to invest. Now, there's a limit though. The investors who hear about us in November through Unicorn Hunters, they will only be allowed to invest $2,000 maximum. That's the limit. That's just how they go. That's how they make it easy for people to invest. I'm working with lawyers in the US and in Europe right now to write a disclosure statement and a private placement memorandum and register this where required, or get an exemption, which is what we're looking at for the US, because it's just an incredibly complex process to allow the public to invest in your company. It requires a lot of red tape and a lot of legal expenses. And I'm trying to minimize those expenses, but I want to let mom and pop, I want everyday people to be allowed to invest. I actually want them more than the professional investors, right? Because I want the people to win. And so we're working all that. And the day will come, it'll be late November, when the world will be allowed to invest up to $2,000 a piece. And if you do the math on a 5 million raise, that means if everyone did the maximum, only 2,500 people in the world will be able to invest. And I am already pretty sure that's a sellout. I can already feel it. The Unicorn Hunters feels it. They think this is going to be the biggest success ever. And some of those who voted no are going to have to explain how could they miss it? how could they vote no on their biggest success story? So, but that's part of the learning, right? That's part of the experience for everybody. So since then, we've had a couple more 100,000 come in, and I had to check with unicorn hunters and say, hey, you know, how's this work with the 5 million I promised the world? Do I need to, you know, limit that? I mean, like, I was trying to figure out how much I'm allowed to let in now before then. And in speaking with all the lawyers, I've got some clarity now. We're just going to let in as much as we need, and we don't need much more. We're looking for about 200,000, but we are limited on the number of people that can come in before all the legal dots are, you know, dotted and the T's are crossed and the paperwork is prepared. As you guys can imagine, right? All the countries in the world have their laws to protect people, not to let people invest. And so in Switzerland, it's different from America. It's different all over the world. And what we're going by, since our company is a Swiss company, is we're allowed to have up to 20 people. That's it, just 20, to come in from day one until we have this public launch. Now, that's already half full. And so, or maybe even more than that. We calculate we have about 5 seats left. That's it, 5 more people in the world could invest in us between now and November. And so for that reason, we're only going to do it if it's, you know, at least 25, 50,000 a person, because we only have 5 seats. We probably want 200,000. And so in order not to violate any laws, we have to keep it to a minimum. And that's why the minimum is quite high for someone who wants to come in now. And it's virtually the same terms as we're going to do in November. It's just November is limited to 2,000. So you can't really invest much if someone waits. So that's how I'm kind of being selective in picking a handful of people to invest now. And what that money does, it pays for the legal fees. It pays for multiple development tracks. As I mentioned earlier, we want to develop on multiple wearables, preferably on multiple blockchains, to create as much pathway. So any one of them is a success, and we have a pathway for a product for the world to use. And we don't have our eggs in one basket. This also involves some marketing. We're going to market. We're going to really create a splash in November. We're not going to leave it just to unicorn hunters, even though we know they've got minimum 5 million people who are going to see this. It's our job to make sure there's a downloadable solution that we can then bring on millions of customers overnight. And, you know, so it's not just about the 5 million we're going to raise. It's more about the customers we're going to raise, that we're going to bring on board, that can like have it right now. And then we've got the data from those users to help us improve our technology, which is way more important than fiddling with some hardware that isn't even ours to, you know, fix. And, you know, I'm talking to John Karas, as you guys know. He is bringing on a lot of these resources. He said, look, what comes with me is not just me and money, but a team. So he's planning on bringing a lot of resources to the table, people who, you know, really think he's amazing, and he is. And I'm excited because with him comes a lot of talent that can really help us be a success. And as I mentioned earlier, he's also helping me strategically think through other investment opportunities for our investors and for our pilots to win shares in all of the entities that we're going to create, right? We want to make it so that there's multiple pathways for different people to win as an investor or as a player. So that's what we're working on. In November, it's not going to be like some big launch. You know, it's really about a coming out party or a launch pad to come out to the world, put ourselves on the map, and people go, oh, wow, you know, I want whatever they're doing over there. And to just take notice and get involved. And then with the millions that we raised, the 5 million from the public and 30 million from unicorn hunters, that's 35 million is what we're going to have in our piggy bank in November at a minimum. And that's not counting all the different venture funds we're going to right now on all the blockchains. Solana is one of them, maybe Matic, Polygon. There's a few others that we're looking at that are in the gaming world. And so we're going to be looking for funding from them. We are applying right now for the Solana competition, which will be over next month, August 16th. We could win anywhere from 50,000 to 165,000. So we're, looking for funds also that comes without any, equity being distributed. Ways to just be able to build a beautiful launch pad for November so that when it comes out, it's a winner. We just want it to be a winner. And we don't have to have it all done. We will then plan a much bigger launch next year with those funds, with more partners to now build out the rest of the companies that take us to the next stage. And that's how John is thinking with me, is not just near term, he's thinking long term. And so all of you have applied to be a pilot, most of you, not everyone. And our goal is to make it accessible, all of this accessible to you first. So if some of you are saying, oh, I would love to invest a little bit up to 2,000, I would tell you, you'll get plenty of advance notice before the end of November. I'll be sending it to you first. Our pilots will get this before the rest of the world gets it. That's how all of you, if you wanted, could invest up to $2,000. And that's the easiest way to go about it. It's less risk, and there's no qualifications. If there's some of you on this call, and I know there are, or someone who would love this and you really want to invest more, you could write to me. Just write to me and say either myself or my best friend or whoever wants to jump in now. That would be my suggestion. I will take up to 5 people. John's, of course, doing this as well. But, I'd rather have our pilots go first. And we already have some amazing pilots who have invested already substantially. So with that being said, does anyone have any questions that I can answer about this offering? Just unmute yourself if you have a question. I see, oops.
Okay. Hello, Suzanne. Hello, everyone. My name is Dominika.
Hello.
Dominika. Hello. I'm from Czech Republic. I'm calling from the heart of the Prague,
nice.
Of the Europe.
Yes.
Really nice energy. Thank you so much. And I feel I'm in the life. I'm also working for the women and for the family. And I'm also the guerreira because I was also living in Brazil. Mm-hmm. And I am really the guide of the gate also of the birth and the death. And it is strong for me to be here today. Nice. And my body is really feeling happy. Mm-hmm. My cells are really shining. Thank you so much for this. So beautiful. I was also joining some calls also, and I'm happy I can talk and I can introduce myself a little bit. And I'm mother and I get birth in Brazil also. It was amazing, strong experience. I'm really connected with the earth so much. And also with some serious suns and also some Pleiades and this kind of stuff also sometimes. My mom today mentioned me that I was connected with this spirits, let's say, also when I was child. Since that, she remembered me today. And I work for the field of the motherhood, to feel this natural power of inside of us, I would say, inside of us. Mm-hmm. And that's it. And I maybe would like to know more about to get in to kind of me, to have it, to be sharing my life and my life energy, what I am like living. That's it. Thank you.
Super. Thank you, Dominica. Thank you very much. It's great. All right. Anyone have any questions about the finances I just described? All right. So, I mean, we have some investors already on the call. Rick and Betty, if you wanted to say anything, just unmute yourself. Michael Vitek was on here, but I think he's gone now. Yeah. Okay, here's Michael.
We'll just say we are so happy to be here. We felt the universe brought us together on many levels, and being part of this and watching this roll forward is just it means so much to us, right from the heart. And we are constantly getting goosebumps when we hear you speak.
And we've been talking with Susan for more than a year now.
Yeah.
We celebrated our year-plus anniversary on the 9th of July.
Right, yeah. Yeah, when Rick and Betty offered to buy Mom's oceanfront property, I introduced them to Mom, and she was in bed in her bedroom, and she said, "Oh, you can have it. It's yours." That was her deliberation. Yes, it's been
she was
magical.
quite a lady. we were happy we got to know her.
Yeah,
she's a treasure.
Definitely, yeah. She kissed you guys too on the lips, didn't she?
Oh yes.
Yeah, she's a big kisser. All right, thank you, Betty. Thank you, Rick. It's really great having you guys on board. I love it. I just love it. I have like such an expanded family now of investors that it's been really fun to play together. Because really, when we're playing and we're just laughing, and my mom was incredibly funny. Oh my God, was she funny? Oh, she used to do this thing where she would pretend she was asleep. She'd go like this. If you asked her a question and she didn't want to answer, she'd be like, "I'm asleep." Oh my God, she had us laughing so hard with that. Such a quick way for us to just, snap into alignment, just like that. Okay. Adam, you were here yesterday. Are you live? Want to have a little flow break with you?
Sure.
You're kind of
yesterday was cool. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Right on. Yeah, I mean, I only ran into you maybe a couple of weeks ago, maybe 10 days even. And I'm in Playa del Carmen, and how could I not want to be part of what you guys were going through yesterday? So I took a trip down to visit, and awesome group of people. And kind of like what Cody was saying, and everyone recognized, it wasn't raining. We went outside, it started raining, it stopped, we put down the ashes. It rained like no one had ever seen. We danced in the rain for 15, 20 minutes. We go back inside, the rain stops. It's like, it was like amazingly timed. And we had a lot of fun, like going through her wardrobe and wearing, she has like all these really funny shirts. Like, yeah, there's dresses and stuff, but I mean, like, I was wearing one that said like "ooh la la" on it or something like that, and hot and spicy. Like it was just a lot of fun, and the energy from everyone that was around. I was trying to do some swing dancing with some people here and there. I mean, it's too bad that more people, like, we had a pretty full house, but I mean, I wish everyone could have experienced the energy that we were all kind of sharing yesterday. So for me, it was welcoming, and it felt good to be around high energy. And yeah, I mean, that's all I can really share. I mean, these are people that I didn't know a week ago or 2 weeks ago, or even a few days ago. And a great project pulls in great people. So, you know, I think that's what's attractive to me, is that you look at what Susan says and it's like, yeah, it touches you, it hits you in the heart with what's going on, because we resonate with all those higher frequencies that we want to experience. And then we get to experience, and look what the project allows us to do. So, you know, however we get involved. Anyway, I know I'm kind of rambling off, but I was just, it was awesome to be a part of it. And I think I'll cut it there and I'll let you guys continue. I don't know.
Thank you.
If I made too much sense, but
thank you, Adam.
It's been awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, it was great to have you there. And these are the kinds of things, guys, we're going to do more of. Okay. Because the more we just play, laugh, dance, be silly, goofy, the more you flow. It's just a fact. And we're going to be able to measure it, you know, with different devices. And we're going to have, you know, flow parties. That's right, Sandra. There's someone I want to introduce on this call. I hope Laura Tabaras is available. I see she's muted. I'm not sure if she's live, but Laura, if you are listening, go ahead and unmute yourself, because I want to introduce you. And if she's not live, I'm just going to tell you who she is. And she represents a company called SheWorks out of Mexico City. And we were introduced to them by the Unicorn Hunters. One of the judges on the show manages SheWorks, and they are going to be our like PR firm for the Hispanic community. That there's the whole Latin community. And I'm very excited about this because I'm here in Mexico. My ancestors are from Mexico and Spain. And we have a lot of pilots who are Spanish speaking. And one of the reasons why I'm here and why Mom chose Mexico is the heart is really strong here. People really live more in their heart here. It's just more common, more natural. And so I just think Token of Me is going to speak well and connect easily with the Latin part of the world. And Spanish is one of the most popular languages in the world. And so I used to speak Spanish. I've forgotten it all. Anyway, I guess we'll have Laura another time. And
no, I'm here.
Oh, good, you're here. Good. I was talking about you.
Hello, you all. Thank you for the introduction, Susan. Thank you so much. And as you mentioned, I'm based in Mexico. I am Mexican. And yes, you're right. We live by heart and we understand and we live with a very close idea of death. So I understand and I'm agree of all what you are saying, all of you. And I hope that, as you mentioned, we can give the importance and give back all the good things and good feeling that you are giving through the world. And I believe that we are focused in Latin America, in US Hispanic, and I'm very excited to be part of this project, huge project. And I'm very grateful and excited to start to communicate all the beautiful things that this project have to give to the world.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you. We're looking forward to you representing us here in this part of the world. Thank you. So since there are no specific investment questions, I'm going to just use what time we have left here to open it up. Mohan, if you're live, I see you're still on the call. I would really love to have him. There you are. Yes.
Hello.
There he is. Just say whatever you feel like saying.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. Back again, we are all here with our family of pilots, and it's amazing to hear everything that's happening and the pace that we are rapidly expanding, and where it all is going. It's like super exciting, and we are scheduling calls with our technical partners. Starting from next week, we're planning on building and expanding our tech architecture and support for different wearable devices and such. And I'm here with my team in India working upon a Fitbit Sense application, and also working upon testing out with Apple Watch as well. So we got a Fitbit Sense delivered to us just over the weekend. I think it was yesterday or day before. So we have now the opportunity to start fiddling around with these two devices. So that's pretty much all the excitement I've got to share, and I'll let you guys go on.
Well, yeah, keep doing whatever you're doing, Mohan, because it's working. And I like that you're just focusing on what feels good. And, if you're hitting a wall, we're learning, aren't we, together, how to just, well, where's the open door? Just find the openings, right? No more hitting our heads against the wall. I'm really glad, I can actually say right now, I'm glad the iPhone didn't work all year, because now we've got a much better strategy, much better. And it's just clear. This is the way to go, is to use existing wearables for our launch. And the Solana is creating their own phone. Can you believe it? Like, oh my God. Wow. So yeah, things are rapidly changing in our world, and we've got to just stay light and do a dance. And you have to stay in a flow state in order to adapt in a way that keeps going in a satisfying way. So we don't, enter into friction or resistance and just let it go, what wants to happen. So thank you for being able to do that. Because you're going to have a lot more resources soon, people and financing, to build multiple pathways at the same time. Very, very exciting. All right, thank you. All right, guys. So, this call was just to give you an update, which I've done. Also, just to tell you about the financing in case somebody out there really wanted to dive in early and be a bigger investor at this time. If not, you will be the first up come November. And, all those new people are going to have to do a treasure hunt similar to the pilot application that you've already done. And so you're going to have a huge head start because you've already done that. And, these others are going to have to get through a treasure hunt first in order to even invest a little bit. Because what the treasure hunt does is it sort of calibrates everybody. And if they can get through it, then they're fit. And if they can't, then it's a no-go. And it's not wise for them or us to try to make it fit. So it's just a natural way of curating the investors before they, make sure they're in it for all the best reasons. And it's funny, like even unicorn hunters, they were literally scratching their head when I said that, well, when you want to sell, you have to get yourself into a flow state. And they're like, what? So it's sort of like your investment is your potential. But if you really want to ever exit, you got to improve yourself. You have to buy the technology, play the game, get yourself into an improved state. It's like you said you wanted to invest in it. Well, don't you know that the investment is yourself? And so you've got to invest in yourself. And then I know you really get it. And then you can sell. And the only people who can buy are people like yourselves who are more or less improving yourself, or, ideally the best flowers are going to have the first right, the first opportunity to buy any shares that are ever available will be the best flowers, including myself and Mohan and the whole team. Do you guys know that, like, none of us, I have one share in the company. Mohan and all the other co-creators, they literally have no shares. Everyone is doing this for love. They are all in. And it's amazing to work like this because there's no micromanaging. We all want the same thing. And the time will come when they are granted shares, but even those stock options, they have to realize their value by improving themselves. So we're really, really gamifying the company. We're gamifying our own interest. We're not just going to get a big grant and then, sit back and coast. Every day we have to also keep on our toes and keep figuring this out and keep improving. If we want to have a vote, if we want to have a say, if we want to create, if we want anything in this company, we have to first work on ourselves. And that's how I know this is a winner, because their entire vested interest is going to count on it. Everyone who gets really involved in this, the core of our technology, the only way that their shares will ever vest is when they master the very thing that they're creating. So we're creating our own platform for our own interests as well as yours at the same time. And that's just never been done before. But I know it will get done, because if you ever want to sell your shares, you better figure it out. And so it's this really elegant way to optimally inspire everyone to figure it out. And you don't get paid for trying. You only get rewarded when you master it. And then you have to keep mastering it. You have to keep improving yourself, because that's the only way to continue to have a meaningful stake, a meaningful influence, and to have a vote that matters. And so, any one of us can have a bad year or a bad decade, and it will naturally shrink your negative influence on the rest of the team and the company. So we're really, really gamifying the company itself, the contribution from each of the co-creators, the investors. They also have to improve themselves if they want to vote. Their votes won't even count unless they're in on the game. So none of this has been created yet, but it's been dreamt up, and it is what we're going to use the money to do. And we need pilots like you guys who want to be the guinea pigs, right? It's your data that's going to help us really get the data to calibrate, to match when someone has a trending in a direction that is towards your true and better self. So, all right. So I don't have any more updates. Is there anyone else who has a burning question or something you'd like to share? I didn't call on everyone, but I think we're getting towards the end here, and I want to give someone.
Hi, Susan.
Hi.
Just quickly. Hi, everybody. My name is Itzel. I am so honored to be in this chat room with you. The reason why is this, I was like, I haven't heard anything from Tom. I wonder why. I wrote to you, Susan, and you said, be in the meeting. I'm like, I'm so glad these things happen, that you wake up. I'm like, I'm just going to send that email today. And this happened. So I cannot be attached anymore. And if I had right now the compass on me, I had so many goosebumps throughout. Beginning, I seen Zenka on the screen. I just received an email, and I saw the interview with Celeste Starr. And then I followed all your news with your mom as well. And from those videos, I was just like in the room with you. So that is really an amazing journey right there. And very excited that I love how you say, don't go even more deep into the technicalities of Tom if people eventually gets the word out. But how do they measure this? So very excited about the wearables. You answered, that was the only question, and maybe another one that I will do about that, because I'm more in the athlete world, and I know a lot of people that give, including me, all their best in the trainings, and that in the trainings, yes, the games is something. I'm talking about beach volleyball or yoga, and you can see these girls just every time they go, they are a little level up. So I'm glad that there's going to be some either rings or that, just to open up that market of athleticism, which is just amazing to see the thrive, no, in everything, in the sport as well. And so my last question regarding this is, could we start getting the word out to maybe pre-order their compass, or just not now, maybe if they find it along their way?
You can send out our website or our Instagram page or the YouTube channel for subscribers. This is just how I keep people updated. And even though we do have a lot of preferential treatment towards someone who's not only applied, but has actually pre-ordered a Soul Compass, this is like, you know, liquid gold to us. Those are our prized, you know, customers. And, you know, we are always thinking about how to take care of them first and honor them for being so resonant with our vision. And they will always be given the first chance to try anything out when it's ready, really ready. We don't ship things out just for fun, because, you know, it can be kind of frustrating at first. But we are looking for athletes, musicians. I would call it the spiritual / yoga community. Gamers, we're going to be having a different target for gamers as well. These are the primary targets for us initially. And this, you know, we aren't trying to market it right now because we don't have a downloadable solution yet for them to use. But as soon as we do, and we're planning on November to have at least 1, if not 3 downloadable solutions for an existing wearable, for a lightweight version that will just give you some feedback and mint NFTs. We won't have anything else at that point. There'll be no metaverse. There's no home tree. You know, all that will be built out with the funds we raise in November. So naturally, we're not putting any effort into marketing right now because we don't have anything available yet. But you guys are all in on it early, which is great. And that way, when it's ready to go, it's like kaboom, you know, it goes big. So thank you for your interest.
Thank you. It's great to see you again from Tribalize. And I also read the black paper, black paper from Tom, and it just explains beautifully.
Good.
And it's so inclusive, you know, because people might say, no, well, I don't have this and that and this. But as you say in the black paper, it's even by writing a text message that you might not even know, you're creating there something inside you that can be measurable. So yeah, the Tom is, it's going to be very exciting. Very inclusive. Thank you, Susan. Good to see you all. Nice to meet you.
You're very welcome. And as you know, I mean, athletes are always looking for an edge. Cody's still on the call. He's working on a very, very cool app, and he discussed it with Unicorn Hunters in his interview. So it's going to go out in November. You know, he's a very, very successful trader, and they're creating a trading fund with experienced traders who will be wearing the Soul Compass to validate their trades before they make them. Because when you're in a flow state, you're like, you can see the future. You can actually test it out if it's a winner. And it's a great application probably. And traders are always looking for just a tiny edge, you know, for, you know, getting a hint or an insight. I mean, Cody, go ahead and describe it if you would, because I'm super excited.
Yeah, the trading aspect is cool. You guys can already feel that just from Susan mentioning it. But I've been training for over 6 years, and I've also coached people. And the reason why people see success in my mentorship is because we focus on thought patterns, on the subconscious, just on the and of course on getting people into flow and emotional attachment, stuff like that. So it's amazing because the best time to work with our subconscious or to meditate or to do expanding practices is also when we're in flow. So and of course, when I teach people to trade, when they're learning, it's even best not to study, not just trading, but anything, unless we're in this coherent state, or else the knowledge or the information is just going to go right through us. So anyway, yes, trading alone, the reason why I've been successful is because I know when not to trade. I know when I'm not feeling so resonant, and I go and do other things. And just being able to have basically a cheat code, if you will, where I could just see when I'm flowing and when I'm not. And, you know, it'll be lit up, or I'll be minting NFTs, and I'll be like, oh, I should be trading right now. You know, I should be focused on the markets. And we're going to create over time. It'll be a really cool automated system. I have a whole trading team where we're already starting to test trading as a team for a fund in the next few months or so. So it's like perfect timing for all this, of course. And to be able to accept their trades or deny them based off of where they were in resonance. If they weren't at their peak, then okay, we probably don't even want to see what their trade was. We only want to see those 3 or 4 or 5 people where we can see, oh, they were glowing purple, they were at their highest state, and their trades are obviously going to be truth. They're going to be resonant. You know, it's powerful. So what that's going to do, of course, for the whole financial system is amazing, is really, really powerful. But more than just people being able to make a lot of money, I actually believe people will be making more choices that are win-win for everyone based off of this device. When it comes to financial markets, when it comes to Wall Street and to corporatism through the world, there's been a lot of fraud because a lot of people go for that win-lose type of outcome. And so token to me, when we're strapping these to all the traders, and if we can have an automated trading system, people trading stocks or Forex or crypto, and they don't even get access to the trading software unless they're flowing, like it's amazing. So I'm really excited. So I'll be applying this, as soon as possible, as soon as it makes sense. Or I already have the traders that we've been training to work together, and I'm gonna hit the ground running. I'm really excited.
Yeah, I am too, Cody. As soon as we have some of these, so this is for you, Mohan. As soon as we have a few wearables and some downloadable apps, I want Cody and his team to experiment with them first. You guys, this is so raw and so new that a lot of the challenges that we're having isn't so much our new technology, it's getting it to work with existing technology. And that's why it can actually be frustrating for newbies, even if you're technically, competent. Even for me, there's times when I'm like, really get frustrated. Like, oh, okay, put it down, and don't try anymore. Got to get myself back into alignment. So yeah, we don't want to send these out. And because then there's like an enormous amount of effort to support all of you, especially if it's having some glitches. So we're really wanting to get it tested out with some really advanced flowers who have an application where we can actually calibrate and go, okay, obviously that trade was a winner, right, Cody? Well, yeah, and the metrics agree. So these are like ways for us to really get it dialed in before we let it out to the world. So, on day one, it's not necessarily going to be paying you because there's going to be a beta period and a trial period. These are the things that just are normal, but not to be concerned if you don't have one, before the end of the year. Just being in on these calls, guys, we're learning together, and we'll have more whenever there's updates. I'll share it with you guys, and as a way of just having you feel the joy and the rush that's flowing through. It's a flow experience. It's a great way to, celebrate together. And you don't need the tokens, you don't need the soul compass to feel good. And from my own experience, the more I just feel good, even without it, I realized, that's going to be interesting. the more you really get the hang of it, the more you actually don't even care about the tokens. The joy is the reward is how you feel. You know, you just, that's what's going to be so amazing is, you know, so if you're an athlete, all of a sudden you're going to be winning and you're not going to care about the tokens. Or, you know, Cody and his traders, they're going to start making great trades and be very abundant very quickly. And they'll be like, oh yeah. And then there's the tokens. That's nice. You know, and so, you know, when I think of the people out there, like the musicians we want to go after, like Pink is my favorite. So I told John, I said, get me to Pink. I want her to be the example of the artist on stage who says, who would like a token of me? And of course, you know, the crowd goes, yes. And you're wearing like a shirt that has bioluminescent, you know, glow material, and it's hooked up to you and your soul compass. And the more you're just allowing, you know, the love to flow, your shirt is just literally lit up, you know, in response. And then, oh yeah, and you get a token of Pink because you flowed right then and there, and it's all calibrated to match it up. So those are the kinds of things I'm really excited about. And I know it's going to take some time, and I'm just fine with that, right? No resistance, just let it unfold. There's no rush. And right, I'm just enjoying it. And that's been my new formula. Just enjoy it more and stop trying to, you know, make it happen. That's when I do better. That's when Cody and his team make better trades. It's just when the things work. So, okay, guys. I don't know if Kareem is live. If you're still with us, I was hoping you might say something. If there's anyone else, I'm going to be closing the call here. I just want to give anyone a chance to share whatever happened to you during this call, or if any questions you still have, feel free to dive in. All right, I see Kareem.
Hey, Susan.
There you are.
Thank you so much. Great to see you. Great to see everybody here. It just sounds amazing. And it sounds like everything is flowing and coming together. You know, I'm a firm believer of everything happens when it's supposed to, and it all happens during its own divine timing. And the worst we can do is try to get in the way and put a chisel in stone timeline on it all, because obstacles come to make us stronger and develop us so that we can overcome greater things later on. Mm-hmm. So it's wonderful to hear about this new direction with the wearables. I think it's great. I think it's awesome. I love the sound of the investments, the opportunities, and it sounds great. I'm loving it. It was really refreshing to hear everything, and I love that the investment opportunities are going to be small so that it can bring in more people and allow for more people to share in the big piece of this whole picture of the future. So yeah. More power to you. Love you, and wishing you all the best. I'll be back in Tulum in September, so I'm looking forward to seeing you.
Super. Yeah. Kareem's been on board for over a year now, at our first treasure hunt, August 1st last year. So it's nice to have you on board for so long with me. And as he said, there's two things he said that I want to, you know, touch on. And one is this concept of timeline and goals. And any time, this is something I figured out. I've been talking to Cody about it a lot lately too. Anytime you have a timeline, a deadline, isn't it funny? They call it a deadline, or a goal or a number, like how much you want to raise, or, you know, just any time you fix a number or a date, you really do yourself a disservice. And the reason, as I get now more than ever, is because then you're constantly measuring yourself, and you're sort of taking score. Like, okay, how am I doing? Uh-oh, it's not enough. Uh-oh, it's, you know, are we going to make it? Maybe, maybe not. It's a very self-limiting thing to do to yourself. And so from the very beginning of this project, which was over 4 years ago, I just knew it was going to be divine timing, and the funding was going to be very different. And even though we could have done a token offering, which is what over 10,000 projects have done. They just go have a token offering. It's easy peasy, guys. And we could have done that, but I've just known not to do that. I don't want to. That just invites Joe Blow, speculators, people who don't even resonate with us. It's not valuable. These are just, you know, that's where the term pump and dump comes from. You know, I just don't want anyone to play and mess with this. It's just got too much value in it. So we're doing it kind of an old-fashioned way, to go to the people with this public raise, right? And it's definitely taking longer. It's going to cost more money, but I just know that it's better. These are going to be far better investors, even though they'll be spread across thousands. They'll all be in a group together, managed by a separate entity. I'm not going to manage 2,000 investors. It's all being done through a company that does this, kind of like crowdfunding. And it's what Unicorn Hunters has set me up to do. So yeah, it's really more of a holistic way of reaching our market of users who can invest too. So whether they invest or not, they may be customers, and that's great. We're going to have both. And they'll all be pre-qualified because they have to do a treasure hunt to even buy a Soul Compass or to invest. Similar to when I first met Kareem last year, I met him on our first treasure hunt. And we're going to have more real, live, physical treasure hunts for people to even figure out how to get on board. It's the best way, either virtually or in real life, to have a treasure hunt and have people, you know, get themselves into this sweet spot where they really are allowing more of their true self to flow through. And that's when they're just going to get it. And they're not even going to use their head. It's just, they're like, I'm in. And that's what we want. And I don't want to have a conversation where I'm trying to justify or defend or explain, because that's when I lose it too. So it's going to be really quick and easy for people to get in, who want in and who fit, who are a match. And it will just, you know, roll off those who are like, I don't get it. Whatever, you know, that's perfect too, right? So, all right, guys, anybody else? This was a great call. Thank you. It was so fun to share this much love with all of you. And have a great Sunday, wherever you are in the world. And get ready. It's the momentum is picking up for sure. So we're going to have a fun time. And it gets easier. All right. Much love. I'm going to say goodbye to everyone.
Thank you, Susan.
You're very welcome. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Okay. Bye now.
Bye.